Hello all you groovy fine people. You're tuned into the Aging Hippie's Conspiracy. Now, some of you may wonder whether this is a case of retarded development on my part, or perhaps I'm reverting to the days of my youth and memories of better times. However, welcome to another fun-filled episode of the Aging Hippies Conspiracy, where we try and forget about all the terrible things going on in the world. Even though they are, if you focus on them all the time, it's not good for your mental health, and you don't want to end up popping all kinds of pills and stuff to get you through the day. So why don't you sit back for a few minutes, relax, let your mind float downstream. Yes, there's terrible things going on in the world, and I worry about it. And every time I turn on my computer, I'm reminded constantly of this disaster, that disaster, the horrendous, awful, awful wars. And imagine being in a situation like that, and it bums me out. So I figure that I will adapt the philosophy of that great philosopher Alfred E. Newman and say, "What me worry." Thank you for whoever gave it to me. I can't remember. But there's nothing we can do. I mean, really, we can raise the alarm, of course, but then people just stick their fingers in their ears and they don't want to hear the truth. So I figure, why not tell the truth, but make it entertaining and funny at the same time. I mean, granted, it's hard to make fun of, say, weather disasters, the jet stream being drunk, or the war in Gaza, or the war in Ukraine, or the various ecological disasters that are happening on a daily basis. But let's forget all that for a minute, and let's just groove. Focus inward to a peaceful place where we all need to be. So I've learned in my life to leave all the negative behind and focus on pure love that lives inside us. Now, some of us, you've got to dig a little deeper to find it, but it's there. It might be a tiny little spark in some people, or it might be a great big thing. They just go around and they love everybody, and then they get arrested for it. I'm just saying. I just want to live the rest of my life and not worry about anything, because worry is poison. If you're not able to do anything about it, why worry? What's the point? Why ruminate on things that you can't change? Or you can fight like hell and try and change them. That might make more sense. That's why I bring you the finest tubular entertainment available today. Not for selfish reasons, but to spread the peace, love, and grooviness gospel as far, as wide, and as big as it can be. But I realize that's never going to happen, and the best I can hope for is a cult following. And cult followings are kind of cool. You know, it's just you're not really well known, but then that doesn't really matter, because if I was well known, well, there's a couple of people in my past that I'd rather not. Yeah, I don't want to go into that. But I will forever, at least in the next few years, have a cult following. And not everybody gets it, right? I mean, some people get really angry at me, and that's because I'm progressive and I have positive ideas about helping each other, and some people just don't want to do it, and they don't want to hear it. They just don't want to do it. It's like that Super Bowl ad, right? The washing the feet and everything. That's kind of a tricky thing. Be careful with that, because they're trying to attract liberal Christians to their MAGA movement by doing all this positive stuff, and then later on a friendly counselor will give you a call, and after a bit of a donation, you too can become a maggot. Yes, you'll be running around with a red hat and feeling proud to be an idiot. And I think that a lobotomy would do a much better job, personally, as far as happiness goes, because you wouldn't look as ridiculous as you do in those stupid red hats. Oh, you see, I'm getting political again. And I'm trying not to. I'm trying to love my enemies. I really do love all of my enemies. I love them desperately. It breaks my heart that they are so heartless and broken and screwed up and ugly, but I love them. Yes, love is the answer. Everywhere people are asking questions, you just tell them, love, baby, that's the answer. And it is the answer. But we have become so accustomed and so jaded to look at everything through a lens of cynicism and mistrust that we've forgotten that love is the answer. So we just have people asking questions. And if love is the answer to those questions, they will remain willfully ignorant. You know those people that just won't listen. They won't actually go outside their comfort zone in their brain even a little bit. But I love them. Oh yes, I love them. I love them in spite of their faults. I love them in a way that only a true hippie heart can love them. And not be angry, and not be cynical, not call them what they are, bloody idiots. See, I'm losing it again. This is the Aging Hippie, and I'm supposed to be totally peaceful and spreading good vibes, and here I am falling off my self-imposed wagon to actually spew stuff, and I'm holding it in, I'm keeping it in, because ever since I've learned to remain positive and look at everything in a new light, my life has actually, well, hasn't exactly improved, but, well, had some shitty things happen. Just found out my cat is diabetic, and we have to give him injections for the rest of his life, which is not fun, and very expensive, and scary. But, you know, I can't let him die because he's my cat. And when I take an animal on under my wing, I keep it. I don't get rid of any animals, even the problem ones. Yeah, I've had crazy cats before, and I can't get rid of them. I'm not going to give them away to somebody else or put them in a shelter or something. So I live with the annoying habits. And that's what we've all got to learn to do. Live with each other's annoying habits. Now, if your partner, say, has a habit of tearing the furniture and pissing up the side of it, well, you know, that's just something you have to learn to live with and feel sorry that you married a psychotic idiot. But, you know, that's life, and we just need to look at each other with more love in our hearts. That's the answer. Now, whatever question you have, I'm starting a new thing in the comments called Ask the Aging Hippie, where I will give advice. Send in your biggest problems. I mean, ones that keep you awake at night, ones that are giving you ulcers and everything, and I will do my best to give you an answer worthy of an aging hippie. Now, whether that solves your problems or not, I'm not going to be able to make any guarantees, but it couldn't hurt. So Ask the Aging Hippie will be a semi-regular part of this show from now on. And of course, the really interesting ones we will review in future videos. Does that sound like fun? It's winter, and I got tulips coming through the ground, and we finally got a little bit of snow today, which is well into February, and it's been like spring, and now it's going back to winter, and it's just that crazy drunken jet stream again. We need the jet stream to just mellow out and go home, and I'm sure that if we could all collectively do that, maybe we could change the jet stream back to sobriety, or we can at least start it on a 12-step program. You see, there are positive solutions out there. It's just nobody wants to hear them. But you do, because you're part of my cult following. Thank you for being a part of my cult following. Thank you for your comments, for your love and your wishes, and all that stuff. It means a lot to me, because as you get old, you have less friends. And if you're old and you're handicapped in any way, well, forget it, right? You're just a pariah. So, and if you don't have a cell phone, and then you're just off the ark, and you're old, and you're not only a pariah, you're an outcast, and you don't belong in civilized society. Uncivilized society sounds like more fun to me anyway. So as I go off into the sunset years of my life, I will try and keep up this positive attitude as long as I can, and I will be happy, 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 and do joyous dancing in the moonlight, as long as you can see the moonlight, as long as it's not obscured by wildfire smoke. Well, who knows what the future holds? But I'll tell you, no matter what it holds, what you can hold is love and peace and joy in your heart. So with that, I will bid you good night, and thank you for watching these fine productions from Armpit Studios in London, Ontario, the famous London, Ontario, home of Guy Lombardo and his Royal Canadians. I think they might have one or two other well-known. Oh yeah, Frederick Banting. Oh, which is kind of interesting, because Banting was the guy who discovered insulin, and now I got to give my cat insulin, and he gave it away for free. But do you think I get the stuff free for my cat? No. Oh no, because that's for humans. If you're giving your cat insulin, you gotta pay, and pay, and pay some more. I'll see you next time. Take care, everyone. And hold the person you love close, no matter what bad habits they have. Just hold them close. That's all I have to say. Good night.